Hi there, I'm Sarabeth, and I'm here today to talk about kind of a taboo topic, but I think it's becoming more normalized, and that's why I'm personally getting a prenup. So why am I getting a prenup if I am incredibly in love with my fiance and I'm so excited to get married to him? In order to answer that question, I think we kind of need to back up a little bit, and I'll explain why am I even getting married. I think, like a lot of people, I spent most of my teenage years ping-ponging from one jerk to another, certain I would never find the one. And lo and behold, I found my amazing fiance and partner, and his name is Dan, as a freshman at university, although we didn't start dating until junior year. And, I'd highly recommend that you start off as friends, build an amazing relationship. Anyway, after 6 years of living together, my views on marriage have changed. I still don't believe that marriage is a requirement for a happy long-term marriage, but I now appreciate that merging your families together through marriage is actually a really beautiful process. Plus, in America, getting on my fiance's health insurance is a pretty good benefit to getting hitched. So now that my fiance Dan and I had told the world that we're getting married, which honestly was not a surprise to anybody, why did I look into getting a prenup? Let's dig into it. Number one, marriage is serious and scary. It's intimidating to realize that once we tie the knot, we will be viewed as a joint entity in the eyes of the law. So what does that mean? Well, essentially, it has the most impacts on our financial situation. I am not a divorce attorney. In fact, I'm a software engineer. So I do not know the ins and outs or the legal ramifications of getting married in Washington state. And honestly, it can depend on your situation. But what I do know is that I would like to have consent with respect to how my financial assets that I've worked so hard for are treated when we do get married. I have spent years building my career, all while living below my means, penny pinching and investing smartly so that I never have to feel financially insecure, and that's really important to me. So rather than our financial future together being unknown, to me, getting a prenup allows both of us to be informed. Number two, communication is key. I grew up the middle child of two proudly frugal parents, and I grew up wearing my sister's hand-me-downs, eating leftovers for dinner, and going on shopping trips to the best discount stores out there. So my understanding of a splurge purchase is a little different from my fiance, who grew up as an only child with two working parents. From the beginning, my partner and I have been transparent on all topics, including financials. For example, when we started renting an apartment together, we came up with an amazing equation. We would just pay rent proportional to our salaries and then split groceries and utilities 50-50. Boom! No need to stress about that for years to come. Luckily, Dan and I both value saving and investing over short-term spending. Now, it might be the case that you and your fiance have very different money personalities. In that case, simply understanding each other's views on money and where you like to spend your money, where you want to save it, what your goals are, is critically important before you get married. Did you know that the leading cause for stress in a relationship is finance related? Personally, my daily life is stressful enough. I would rather remove arguments over finances from my ever-expanding to-do list. Instead, let's put our financial cards out on the table, and a prenup allows us to say, here's what we're both coming in with, whether it be student debt, stocks, RSUs, you own part of a company, so be it. What's our plan for the mortgage or student loans? These are all topics that kind of get kicked off when you start talking about your prenup and the future of your marriage. Looking at bills is anxiety-inducing, but you have to know your variables before you can build an equation for an amazing marriage. Happy marriage equals love plus communication plus respect. Number three, a prenup is an insurance. At 11 years old, Kanye West taught me the importance of a prenuptial agreement. Now, if I do quote Kanye, he said, "If you ain't no punk, holla, we want prenup, we want prenup." Yeah, it's something that you need to have, you know. Thank you, Kanye, for instilling that important financial lesson in me at such a young age. In all seriousness, I look at a prenup as another form of insurance. I hope I never need to cash out on my car insurance or my health insurance or my renter's insurance, the same way that I hope I never need my prenuptial agreement to be enforced. But that's why it's there, to deal with the unknown. Life is really long and you never know what's gonna happen. Almost 50% of all marriages in the United States end in divorce or separation. My own parents divorced shortly after I graduated college at 22, and I'm not alone. Millennials like myself have seen the realities of divorce from their baby boomer parents, who did have the highest rate of divorce than any generation previously. And so millennials and Gen Zs view marriage and life planning tools like prenups a little bit differently. Prenups went from being only for the rich and famous to being useful for the average person, whether you own a small business or you own stocks or you have existing student debt. I think that there's no reason not to consider getting a prenup. It's easy to get caught up in the flashy details of planning your special day. I totally get that. I would much rather try on beautiful dresses and look at shiny engagement rings and pretty place settings, but I believe that it's just as important to plan for the days after your wedding day as the day of. And a prenup allows you to do that with your partner. So why am I getting a prenup? Simply, I believe that a prenup is the ultimate marriage planning tool. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope this shed a little bit of light about why one person decided to get a prenup. If you have any questions about prenuptial agreements, or you're in the market for creating your own prenuptial agreement, check out HelloPrenup.com. Thank you.